Hey guys, so I wanted to do a video to show you guys how I work on a nice heel with puppies. So Miss Willow is paired up with a prong collar. Anytime she is too far ahead, I am putting simple pressure on it, creating the triangle in the chain and bringing her back. So if she gets too far ahead of my leg, I want to bring her back to where her head is at my knee. Good girl, yes. And then when we stop, we always want a puppy trying to look up and check in with us. Good girl. Okay, heel. So the way I'm going to be holding my leash is, so I got my thumb, my index finger, my leash is wrapped up so it's not in my way, and there's only enough slack there for us to make corrections. So they are no longer receiving full length of this leash. And I started getting a little bit more bossy with her as far as how strict I want my heel, instead of being a little bit lenient and getting her adjusted to the prong work. So she is still like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Come here, Willow. Good girl. Yes. So the way I'm going to hold my leash is my pants seam is right in the middle of my leg. And I'm going to hold my leash right by my back pocket. So that way, if she gets too far ahead, it's easy for me to correct her. And I'm not chasing her down. She doesn't have a crazy amount of slack. And I'm not keeping constant pressure on that leash until I need to bring her back, like right now. Heel. Heel. Good job. Heel. And this is something that you are going to have to be repetitive about. This is not going to happen with a puppy at 14 weeks of age immediately. Now, if you're working that puppy 5 to 6 times a day, sure thing. Absolutely. Heel. By the end of the day, you can have a nice tight heel. But we're not giving these puppies crazy corrections. We're just giving them bare minimum corrections so they can start figuring out pressure and release work. And naturally, my hand does a lot of the correcting for me, just because most of the time I don't even pay attention to the dog anymore. But if you guys are starting to feel things out, you're going to pay attention, you're going to look down, see where the dog's at with your body language. Once the dog is too far forward, you're going to correct the dog. Sit. Good girl, yes. Yes. Ready? Okay, heel. But I don't have to do the stare down with the dog anymore because I'm not new to the game. Heel. And I can correct her in video and move on and do things we have to do. Heel. Good girl. Heel. Heel. Yes. And you want to try to make sure that you're repeating your heel command a good amount of times. Sit. Yes. Each time you put pressure in there, and I know I keep missing my time for it because I'm speaking, so bear with me. I'm fixing my leash. Okay, heel. Good girl. So you want the dog no more than a foot out from your body. So I don't want her way out there. I want her nice and tight. Bring her back in. Heel. Good. Heel. 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 She's like, there's a gate there. I want to go in. Good girl. Sit. Yes. Good girl. Okay, heel. Come on. Yeah, we're not done. She's like, I'm done. I'm ready to play. But that's the biggest factor that everybody needs to remember is it's not up to these guys to tell us when they're done. At least in my world, my dogs don't call the shots. Good girl. Sit. Yes, good girl. She's like, all right, lady, you suck. Okay, Willow. But I still have a nice tail wag. Good girl. Gotta fix my leash. Good girl, Willow. And after a few stretches of up and down, heel, and a couple corrections, we have a better heel. And so every day, usually every morning since I've had them, I've had to start off with a harsher walk, with meaning more corrections than what I usually have to do through the day, and having to ride their butts a little bit more. So I'm having to up my firmness level because they're usually fresh and out of the box in the morning. Come on, Willow. Yes. Sorry, someone was calling. Good girl, Willow. Heel. Yes. Good. So this is a nice heel. Heel. So I'm going to slow down, ask her to sit. Good. Touch her, reward her. Good girl. Okay, heel. Good. Remember, hand by my back pocket. Good girl. Yes. Nice close-in heel. So you kind of got to see her from the beginning. A little bit of piss and vinegar. And then 6 minutes into working, heel. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. Good job. Come on. Good. Heel. Yes. Come on. Good job. Heel. Yes. So we got leaves. We got grass blowing. Good girl. Make a U-turn. Come on. Yes. Good girl. So out of all of this, you're not shutting down the dogs. You're just letting them know what's acceptable and what isn't. So you do need to be firm, and you do need to let them know what you're going to accept and what you're not going to accept. Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere. Willow, sit. Yes, good girl. All right, guys. That's how we start our leash work. That's a daily basis for us.